Right, Nate.
Yeah, Sheriff Joe Lombardo is here for our first Morning Cup of Joe segment for the new year. Happy New Year, Sheriff. Thanks for joining us again.
Yes.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
nice
welcome.
to see you. You're looking rested. Let's talk about New Year's Eve.
I don't think I am.
Yes, you do. And New Year's Eve was a huge success. We were broadcasting from the Hard Rock Cafe on the Las Vegas Strip, and everyone felt so secure. All the revelers seemed so happy. All 380,000 people on the Strip in downtown who took in the festivities.
Yeah, it was. It was a, we're always worried, going into New Year's Eve whether we're going to have some crackpot out there or not. But we were successful. I mean, all the planning that goes into it bared fruit. So we're adept at it. Yeah. We've done it year over year. But as you can imagine, the threat picture is a little bit different in the coming years, and so. But I think all the pre-planning was successful.
Mm-hmm. It was reasonably quiet, as you mentioned, but we talked earlier in the show about an accident and a crash that happened, I should say, involving a couple of Metro officers. Drunk driving is a big focus for all law enforcement in the Valley. Can you talk a little bit about what happened?
Yeah, unfortunately, that's the problems with public safety and what we deal with on a daily basis. Officers were out doing a vehicle stop for a suspected drunk driver. During the vehicle stop, they got hit by a drunk driver. So one of the officers had to be transported to the hospital and ended up having a broken leg. Thankfully, that was the only extent of the injuries. But I wouldn't want to be the guy with the broken leg per se. But it's unfortunate, and that's the nature of the beast. And no matter how much warning we put out there or the resources that are available, like Uber and Lyft and all that, people still make bad decisions.
So while we get ready for the new year, we can look back a little bit at 2018, crime in the Valley. What are some of the trends? What do the statistics show about crime in Las Vegas right now?
That's another good picture. Crime is down in 18. So we're experiencing right around a 9% decrease in violent crime and a 4 to 5% decrease in property crime. So if you put them both together, when you use the numbers, it's right around a 5% decrease in totality. So that's a big number. In law enforcement, we try to get 1 or 2% per year, but in 2018 versus 17, we're doing some good stuff. Yeah, so all those policies and procedures and functions and everything that we put in place in previous years are bearing fruit now. So hopefully that continues into 19, and that is our goal, because everybody wants to have a safe community.
That's one of your big goals now. This Friday you get sworn in again. That's very exciting. Talk about some other goals for the new year.
Well, I'll never stray away from violent crime. As long as I'm the sheriff, I'll continue that goal as my goal, in perpetuity, because it's important. That affects everybody, So even if you are not a specific victim, it still affects you in that perception of crime and with your business, our community, and what we do on a daily basis. To include, now mental health is a big push for me. We had a lot of mental health services drawn back in previous years due to the economy and unforeseen reasons why, but mental health is a huge part of what we deal with on a daily basis in public safety. When society doesn't have an answer to their question, they dial 911. And that's my young officer out there on the street having to deal with individuals that are in mental distress. And that's a huge number of calls we handle every day. So my push is to identify resources to make it easier for them to deal with that situation. And then one other thing is we're opening a substation at the end of 19. Hopefully it'll be December of 19. We're on track to do that, and that's always a good thing for law enforcement.
Definitely. Yeah.
Especially if you live next to it.
And it could be hopefully it's not used, and so it's distracting, but it's good to have.
But the station will be up on the west end of town, so, and then we'll go for there.
All right. Thank you so much, Sheriff. We'll be out there, of course, on
welcome.
Friday, so congratulations to that.
If you have a question for Sheriff Lombardo, you can submit it on our website, LasVegasNow.com. The link is on the right side of the page, and you can find out if your question was answered every Wednesday.
And we'll be right back after the break.